All right, we are going to read chapter 9 and 10 from Lulu is Getting a Sister. In the last chapter, Mitzi tricked Lulu with her twin Fritzy. And Fritzy was really good at swimming and beat Lulu, and Lulu was angry, and she ended up pulling Fritzy's hair. Chapter 9. Very soon after, Lulu was once again sitting with Fritzy in Call Me Debbie's office, being told, though she knew this already, that pulling someone's hair was unacceptable, being told that she doubted it, that what seemed like Fritzy acting condescendingly was Fritzy's truly trying to be kind. She being told, though she disagreed, that anybody with a good sense of humor would surely have thought the twin switching trick was hilarious. And also being told that since she was the temporary older sister, she had to be better behaved than a younger sister. Even when the pint sized, I won't bother with the other words, younger sister had beaten her at swimming and Scrabble. There's a little envelope. It says, please return to Fritzy. I think it has some of Fritzy's hair in it. Because Lulu pulled it out. Lulu, looking stormy and not sounding too sincere, told Call Me Debbie she'd try to be better behaved. And Call Me Debbie told Lulu, because of this morning's Mitzi Fritzy mix up, she had decided for the first time ever in the history of Camp Sisterhood to let Lulu's kid be exchanged for another kid. Now, usually at Camp Sisterhood, you're given a girl if your mom is having a girl, and a boy if you're given a boy if your mom is having a boy. And if your mom doesn't know that what she's having, well, that's a whole other story I won't get into. However, because the only spare kid at Camp Sisterhood was a boy, Lulu, rather than getting a new younger sister, was going to be getting a new younger brother instead. Though it truly doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, Call Me Debbie assured her, as happy sister experience will always be a happy sister experience. All right, chapter 10. By now it was time for another yummy, delicious Camp Sisterhood lunch, 12 to 1, after which came an afternoon, 1 to 5, of freedom and fun for the Sits, who had spent the entire morning, 8 to 12, trying to have a happy sibling experience. Meanwhile, the Sits who spent the morning, 8 to 12, having freedom and fun, now got to spend the entire afternoon from 1 to 5, trying to have a happy sibling experience. Are you following me? It isn't that hard. Now keep up. The freedom and fun activities were just to mention a few: board games, ball games, arts and crafts, swimming, hiking, climbing, kayaking, computers, and scavenger hunts. The happy sibling activities were the same, except instead of doing it with your sits who are more or less your own age, people that you chose and wanted to be with, you had to do it with some little kid first, who wasn't your first or even your 15th choice. Which brings us to the next morning, when Lulu was introduced to Sebastian, whose older sister she was about to become. Sebastian, I've always liked that name, except that it's one of those names that's impossible to find a nickname for. You call him Seb, Sebi, Basti, Tinny, Yinny, what? If anyone out there has a suggestion, please send me a postcard. Meanwhile, Lulu is calling him Sebastian. Looking at Sebastian, with his bitten nails and untied sneakers and runny nose, Lulu could tell that he was no Mitzi or Fritzy. He wouldn't be a talking machine. He wouldn't be condescending. He wouldn't be winning a game of any kind. In fact, she was positive that she would just be beating him all the time at everything. That perhaps, as sisterly tip number 2 had suggested, she even might let him win a game now and then. Though, not a lot. Though, maybe hardly at all. Though, forget it. He should learn to be a good loser. There's a pic of Sebastian. And that's the end of chapter 10. All right, I wonder what Sebastian's going to be like. Make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen next? And I'll see you next time.